Why is this always there? I'm trying to delete that. We ready? I got no markers yet, call. Somebody, you got the markers? Like, you got the markers? Yeah. You got yours on with you? I'm about to hide them from y'all. Find me a nice little masjid spot. Sure. Yeah. Want me to come closer here, Quan? No? Farther? طيب بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تمسك بسنته بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, after praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sending the salutations upon the Messenger alayhi salatu wassalam, and upon his family and his companions, and upon all those who follow, upon his guidance into the establishment of the last day. To proceed, ya ikhwan, اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من علم لا ينفع ومن قلب لا يخشع ومن نفس لا تشبع ومن دعاء لا يسمع. Verily, Allah, we seek refuge with you from knowledge that has no benefit, and from a heart that has no fear, and from a soul that has no satisfaction, no contentment, and from a dua that goes unanswered. To proceed, ya ikhwan, فنواصل معكم في هذه الليلة المباركة الكريمة عونا من الرحمن الرحيم. So we continue in this blessed and noble night of ours, seeking the aid and the assistance of our Lord, the most merciful and the most compassionate. مستفيدين ومتعلمين من اللغة العربية, as we continue to learn and derive benefit collectively as a group from the science of the Arabic language. فقبل أن نبدأ نراجع إن شاء الله تعالى قليلا. So before we begin, let's review إن شاء الله تعالى briefly. طيب نبدأ من اليمين. Let's start from the right إن شاء الله تعالى. طيب أنا أقولها بالعربية وأنتم تقولونها بالإنجليزية. I'll say it in Arabic, you say it in English. رجل. Good. باب. Good. نهر. Good. بحر. Good. Could be an ocean also. كتاب. جميلا. شارع. Try it again. شارع. السيارة تمشي. أحسنت. طيب, to our sisters. ولد. Good. كرسي. Good. شاي. Good. قهوة. ما شاء الله. كبير. ما شاء الله. Also old. قديم. Try it again. قديم. Good. طويل. Long. Can also be tall. قصير. Sheikh Abdul Wali. قصير. 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 لا بأس. قصير هو رجل قصير. طوله قصير. هو رجل قصير. طوله. Hey, short. To our sisters, جميل. Good. حسن. Fine. Can also be handsome. Can also be person's name. All right, sent. مكسور. Good. واسع. MashaAllah. Wide or? Good. ضيق. ضيق. Narrow, tight, restricted. سماء. Good. Can also be can also be foundation. Oh, the sisters killing it today, Ikhwan. Allahu Akbar. Bintun. Good. خادم. خادم. Oh, خادم. 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 Close. خادم. Oh, not old. Not قديم. خادم. 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 Accent. The servant. جميلا. طيب. مصر. مصر. Good. دمشق. دمشق. MashaAllah. That sounds similar, يا إخوان. أرض. 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 Earth, the ground, soil, dirt. اضرب على الأرض. Go strike the earth, the ground, the soil, and make tayammum. شمس. 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 أنت. You ain't looking at me, huh? Don't pick me, huh? Listen, that ain't my word. هذه ليس كلمتي. طيب turn. يوسف. نفس. 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 Yes. From a single, from our sister. نفس. نفس. Nobody. نفس. A soul. Your soul, the nafs. كل نفس. سورة المائدة. كل نفس ذائقة الموت. Every soul. It can also be nafs. It can also be desires. No. Nafas. 28. Page 28. These قديمة جدا. These are old words. Y'all should be, mashallah, متمسكون فيها. Y'all should be grounded in these words. We had these words not long ago. Keep it up the good work, ya ikhwan. It's an honor. Arabic is rough, like any language. خطوة خطوة, step by step. One of the best ways, ya ikhwan, كيف العبد يكون قويا في دراسته في اللغة العربية? How can a servant be strong in studying Arabic? What's some things he or she could do? What could he do? الكتابة. الكتابة تعيننا على حفظ الكلمات. Writing the words help you memorize it. Even if you forget it later, it's still going to help it stay with you. Okay, I forgot it. Write it again 50 more times. Now you got it. What's something else? يعيننا على تعليمنا اللغة العربية. What's something else that can help us upon studying Arabic? Yeah, sense, muraja'a. Going over the work, making muraja'a, like you brothers and sisters do when I see you, Allahu Akbar, taking time out to rehearse and go over. Something else, something that many of us don't do. To study it, also rehearse it, muraja'a. Something else that many of us don't do. Nadrus, we have the class. ثم لا نطبق ماذا تعلمنا. We have the class, but we don't. Not that we mentioned that. Something else. And most, especially the non-Arab, that we don't do when it comes to learning Arabic. Consistency is a key. Also, we learn it, but we don't really practice what we learn. We don't use it. Remember, ya ikhwan, we are at a disadvantage in America. Almost, and I'm not talking about no one, ya ikhwan. أتكلم عن الأعمى. We're talking about actions. Actions. في كثير من المساجد في جميع البلدان في أمريكا وغيرها أكثر الأئمة وطلاب العلم يتكلمون في غير العربية. You name the masjid in America, unless it's an Arab masjid. Most of the imams in America, in the West, most of the students of knowledge, most of the du'at, those who call to Allah, they speak in their Jumu'ah a language outside of Arabic. They speak usually English. They recite the verses in Arabic. You go to almost any masjid you wish. Not every, almost every. The imams, the students of knowledge, the teachers, when they're giving their classes, they're not teaching them through Arabic. No. On the minbar, you hear the ayat you hear the Arabic when he recites the ayat, but the remaining of the talk is in English. You hear the Arabiya when he says the hadith, but most of his speech is in English. So we're at a disadvantage in America. Tafadhal.
When they be studying the memorization of do they know what they memorizing, or they just?
It depends. الحفظ على الأقسام. You can memorize differently. There are different ways to memorize. بعض الإخوة يحفظون كيف أن ينطق الحروف. وهذه العبادة. Some brothers and sisters, when they learn Quran, they only learn how to pronounce it. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. He just knows how to say it. And that's worship too. That's worship. But that's not the goal. The goal is not just to recite the Quran. That's worship. The one who does it gets a reward. But that's not the goal. So another level of memorizing, one first small level, is I just know how to say it. He learns the surah wal asri innal insana lafi khusr to the end. What did you say? What is al-asr? I don't know, yeah. What is the wow? Allahu alam. What is illa? I don't know. Alladhina. He's not learning it like that. So he's doing it the lower way. The highest way is that you learn what you're saying. One of the best ways to study Arabic is to study what book? The Quran. Every surah, count those words. That's all Arabic. Every hadith, Arabic. So you learn a hadith, you know all those words if you're really paying attention. So every surah, alhamd, that's Arabic. Lillah, 2 words. The lamb is a word, Allah is a word. Rabb, another word. Alameen is another word. Ar-Rahmani, another word. Ar-Rahimi. So all those words in Al-Fatiha, you memorize them. You add them to your vocabulary. But not everyone memorizes like that. Most of the children, when they memorize, they don't really know what they're saying. Most of us, the non-Arab, when we memorize, we don't really learn what we're saying. We had a class in Philly one day. The sister said, so you mean to tell me I have to know what I'm saying? I said, yes. She said, I never knew that. Nobody ever taught me that. She said, I heard all this Quran, I remember, I learned. I just learned how to say it. If you know the surah, but you don't know what you're saying, can you really say you memorized it? The answer is no. You learned how to say it. Memorizing it, you know the meaning. You don't have to know all the ayat, all the hadith connected to it. No. But you know generally the meaning. Wallahu a'lam. طيب نواصل. Let's continue يا إخوان. Sound like a sheikh? Alhamdulillah. Whose turn? Yusuf. شجر. سماء. شجر. ما شاء الله. حجر. ما شاء الله. Rocks, stones. بقر. Sheikh Abdul Wali. Oh, Sheikh Abdul Wali was busy this week. Last week he was on it last week. Oh, the week before. He changed his spot. He went from the A+ student area to the punishment area. Hey. Allah. Hey, the cows, we got it. Allahu Akbar. La bas. You're here to come back, inshallah, shortly. Inshallah. Our sister in the back. Ainun. 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 The sister started off killing them with Arja'ah. Now they fell back. They on the Av now. They got to come back. Ahsanti. Can also be. Spy. Ahsanti. Can also be. We learned a few for the word ayn. Can also be a spring. One more. Ahsan. Sheikh Abdul Wali's come back. Allahu Akbar. It can also be a letter. You're like, I'm going to be the best in the class. Take my spot. Whose turn? Hadirun. Hey, in Arabic. Ayn.
No.
Hey, no. Alhamdulillah. طيب. Whose turn? بعيد. بعيد. Ba. Hey, far. Malikun. Malikun. I think you were right. Say it again. Your first word. A king was more correct. And could be a leader, but not every leader is a king. The king is a specific leader. He's the ruler of his people or the likes. A king. Malikatun. MashaAllah. Insanun. You got it. Samad. Insanun. Human being, a person, individual. Naam. I beloved Sheikh. What's your name one more time? Zayd. Sorry. I keep forgetting Zayd. Naam is yes. La. Good. Jaddun. Abdul Wali. MashaAllah. Jaddat. Yusuf. Jaddatun. MashaAllah. Our sister. Last few words, then we'll start. Let's go to last week's class. Fi. MashaAllah. Rafi'un. Our last word. Rafi'un. That's rijlun. Rafi'un. Rafi'un. Last week's class. Hey, nominative case. When the word ends in or Dhamma, Dhamma Tanween, or Dhamma, Dhamma Tanween is the same. You don't have to say Dhamma or Tanween. That's the same. Tanween just means two. Right? The Rafi' is when the word ends in Dhamma or whatever takes the place of Dhamma. Right? We didn't learn that yet. but نتعلم إن شاء الله. We'll get there إن شاء الله. طيب من لا يفهم الدرس الأخير لعله أصعب درس أخذناه القط. Perhaps last week's class, as I mentioned, was the hardest class we did so far. It's one of the hardest chapters in the beginning of the book. طيب فمن لا يفهم من له سؤال, who doesn't understand, who has a question about what we learned last week, حتى نمشي, so we can continue. لا تستحيوا, don't be shy. حرام على طالب العلم الحياة بالنسبة إلى إزادة أو زيادة العلم. It's not allowed for a student of knowledge to be shy when it comes to seeking knowledge. Right. كلكم فاهمون. Everyone understands. تفضل. ما شاء الله أحسنت. نعم.
When it's naked.
Good.
When it's naked, who is Alex?
Good. So when the nasb is nakira, you add that alif. طيب.
All the time or in certain cases.
MashaAllah, good question. So our beloved brother is talking about in the nasb. What's the nasb? تعلمنا عن هذا قبل صح؟ We learned the nasb or no? طيب. طيب, we did the first two. ما هو النصب? So what is نصب? طيب. كسرة. طيب. What is نصب? The nasb is the case in which the word ends in a fatha. That's it. آخر كلمة فتحة. When the ending of the word ends in فتحة. طيب. الرفع ما هو الرفع? What is رفع? آخر كلمة ضمة أو ضمة. When the ending of the word ends in ضمة, or what takes the place of ضمة. نصب when the word ends in فتحة, or what takes the place of فتحة. طيب. الجار ما تكلمنا عن الجار. We didn't talk about the jar, so we'll save that inshallah. What our brother's asking about is sometimes على حسب الكلمة, depending on the word. فنقول مثلا البيت. Who can translate? البيت, the house. البيت, the house. معرفة أو نكرة? Definite or indefinite? Definite. معرفة. طيب. بيت. ما شاء الله. A house. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. A house. معرفة أو نكرة. Definite or indefinite? نكرة. طيب. الآن رفع نصب أو طيب. ما تكلمنا عن جار. We didn't talk about the jar yet. البيت. بيت is it رفع or نصب? رفع. كيف عرفنا? How do you know? ضمة. طيب. ضمة أو ضمتان. طيب. The case is رفع. طيب. الكلمة التي تنتهي بالضمة مرفوع. The word that ends in ضمة is called مرفوع. The case is رفع. طيب. So sometimes, depending on the word, the nasb, let's do the same thing with the nasb. Now, baytan. You're going to add an alif. The brother's asking, why is this alif there? This is just something conventional in the science of writing, that you have to add this alif, because it's in this case and it's nakira. If it was ma'rifah, there's no need to add the alif. It would be al-baytu. Al-bayta. So there's no need to add alif. But when it's nakira, you add this alif. That's in the science of writing. Right? Nakira. We should have that already. We're right again, no problem. طيب. فمن لا يفهم الرفع والنصب. Who doesn't understand the رفع and the نصب? تفضل.
In the state of nas, and we're nekira, kalimatu nekira. Who does the alif, zai alif ulu?
No, not every word. It depends on the word.
Because we have a word in here, za'lanu.
Za'lanu.
Za'lanu, and it's showing that they didn't put the alif at the
end. Yeah, not every word. It depends. Not every word. Samat. We didn't get there yet. May Allah bless you. Someone takes good notes. طيب, فعندنا الحال والكلمة. So So now we have the case and we have the word that case is in. طيب. فالحال ثلاثة. So the hal, the case is 3. The case is 3. We did the first 2. رفع والنصب. طيب. We didn't get to jar yet. طيب. So we have رفع. The case or the word رفع. We're talking about the case or the word? The case. The word is going to be marfu'. Memorize these 2 words, ya ikhwan. Marfu'. Marfu'. So we're going to add the meme and the waw to rafi'. Rafi' is there. We added the meme and we added the waw. Now we have marfu'. Rafi' is the case of the word. Marfu' is that word that is in that case. So rafi' halu akhir al-kalima dhamma. Rafi' is the case that the end of that word ends in dhamma, or what takes the place of dhamma. Marfu' is the kalima التي تنتهي بالضمة أو ما ناب عنها. Marfu' is the word that ends in the dhamma, or what takes the place of dhamma. Right? So 2 different things. One is the case, the hal, and one is the kalima, the word. Wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If you don't get it right now, no problem. It's going to come back. 2 points. Write this down, ya ikhwan. First point, case. Case. The hal, the case of the word, the condition of the word. Second point, the word. That's it. Masjid is the place, the case. The one that's in the masjid is the Muslim. That's it. Is it allowed for a non-Muslim to come in the masjid? The answer is yes. Some people think you cannot allow a non-Muslim to come in the masjid. The actions of the Prophet of Allah contradicts that. Alayhi salam. So we have the case, rafi'. We have the word that ends in dhamma, marfu'. طيب إذا نفهم الرفع نفس الشيء تماما للنصب إلا شيء واحد. If you understand the rafi', who doesn't understand the rafi'? If you understand the rafi', it's the same for the nasb. It's the same. Except one thing we're going to change. Fatha. That's it. All right, look here, ya ikhwan. Write this word on your paper. Everybody take out a piece of paper. Write the word Muhammadun. Write the word Muhammadun. 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 تعلمنا القاعدة قبله. We learned the principle before. من يكررها. Who can mention that benefit, that principle? What's the principle? Close. Is what type of words? Say it louder. Say the whole thing louder. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. The origin regarding nouns is that they end in dhamma, or what takes the place of dhamma. If you memorize that one sentence, you guys are going to be imams in Arabic. Y'all can give y'all Jumu'ah when y'all get home. Stand on that little minbar in the living room. Your wife comes in, sit her down. Bismillah. Listen to this. I've been practicing all my life for this Jumu'ah. The origin regarding nouns is that they are nominative. They end in dhamma, or what takes the place of dhamma. You got that? فمثلا أنا أكتب هذه الكلمة. I write this word. Look at my ending. Don't worry about my beginning. Don't worry about my middle. My ending. ما أعلم معنى محمد. ونعوذ بالله. Just say I don't know the meaning of Muhammad. عرفنا أنه اسم, but I know it's a noun. If I memorize that principle, I know what? What about the dhamma? The word ends in dhamma. That's it. So when I read my Quran now, or not the Quran, I read my books of the ulama with no vowels. If I know a noun, if I memorize this principle, I know every noun ends in a dhamma. That's it. You guys with me? Make it easy. Muhammadun. طيب. مرفوع أو منصوب. Does it end in dhamma? طيب. Is it nominative or accusative? Let's use our beloved Sheikh's fancy translations. I think the book uses those fancy words too, yeah. Nominative. What does nominative mean? Ends in dhamma or Allahu Akbar. Try to memorize both parts, ya ikhwan. What ends in dhamma or what takes the place of dhamma. Two parts. طيب. So the word Muhammad is marfu'. Write this word down, ya ikhwan. The word Muhammad is marfu'. Marfu'. What does marfu' mean? Or two parts, ya ikhwan. Try to memorize both. Marfu' is a fancy word in Arabic that means the word ends in dhamma, or there's something that can take the place of dhamma. We didn't learn that yet, but inshallah we'll get there. Marfu', the word that ends in dhamma, or what takes the place of dhamma. Two parts. Marfu' الكلمة التي تنتهي بالضمة. The word that ends in dhamma, or what takes the place of dhamma. That's it. They'll be getting ahead of ourselves. طيب. To make it easy, I don't want to make it too hard. Let's learn this first, and then we'll see what can take the place of dhamma. Easy. طيب. How many ways can you make tahara? How many ways? What's one? Wudu. Is that the only way? There's something that can take the place of wudu. Before you learn that, you learn wudu. Now I can make wudu, alhamdulillah. Now teach me what can take the place of wudu. Dirt, tayammum. So let's learn this first. And then inshallah, we'll learn how to make tayammum. Right now we're still in wudu. You can't take a shortcut if I don't know the way. I'm gonna get lost. Right. What's the marfu'? Who didn't we hear? Our beloved Sheikh. What's the marfu'? Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Say it. Say it again. Raise your voice. Or what takes the place of dhamma? That's it. Close. Rafi' is the case. Marfu' is the word. Look at the board. Muhammad, a word. The word that ends in dhamma, her name is marfu'. That case is rafi'. Right? You guys with me? Sama, who traveled? Our mothers, they travel. Yusuf traveled. Right. Next word. Masjidan. Next word. Write this word down here on your paper. Masjidan. Masjidan. All right. The case that Muhammad is in is what? The case. The case. The case. Rafi'. The case. The case that Muhammad is in. Not the word Muhammad, no. The case. It's called rafi'. Rafi', nominative case. Or a fancy translation. The word al-kalima allati tantahi bil-dhamma. The word that ends in dhamma. What's her name? Marfu'. The case rafi'. The word marfu'. The case rafi'. The word marfu'. The religion is called Islam. The people of that religion are called the Muslim. Right? The word that ends in dhamma, or what's the second part? What takes the place of dhamma. Allahu Akbar. طيب انتهينا بهذا. Now we're done with marfu', we're done with rafi'. Now a nasb. The case of the word that ends in fatha is called nasb. Nasb. We're on page, what page, Ikhwan? 28? 33. We started this last week. The case of the word ending in fatha is called nasb. Nasb. The case. The case. Not the word. Nasb. Nasb. The case that word is in is the accusative case. Nasb. It's a fancy word that means the case of this word ending in fatha is called nasb. That's it. If you understand rafi', it's the same as nasb, except that rafi' is dhamma, or what takes the place of dhamma. Nasb is fatha, or what takes the place of fatha. And Tuma'i, you guys with me? طيب, if you don't get it now, inshallah you'll get it later. الكلمة التي تنتهي بالضمة. The word that ends in dhamma. What's her name? That's a trick question, ya ikhwan. Don't worry about what I'm pointing at. What did I say? Oh, I tricked you. Our brother Abdullah caught it. The word that ends in dhamma is what? Marfu'. Just because I'm pointing here, that's how you can see if someone's paying attention. It's called what? Marfu'. Marfu'. The word that ends in dhamma. طيب. The case of the word ending in fatha is called what? I'll trick some of you again. The case of the word ending in fatha. Nasb. I'm asking the same thing, I'm just changing it. Right? Can we make wudu from water? Who's turn? Yusuf. Can we make wudu from water? The answer is yes. I'm going to say the same thing again, but I'm going to trick you now. Can you make tayammum from water? The answer is no. Can you make tayammum if you have water? No. Impure. That's the only reason. It can cause harm. If you're afraid it's going to cause harm, it's not pure. Something else. It could be stagnant or flowing. That's not bad. Something else. It's 10 of us right now. Suppose the water is not enough. It's all the water we got. The stores are closed. So it's pure, but by the time Abdullah uses it, Samad is, Ya akhi, bismillah. What about the rest of us? So now the rest of the people can make tayammum. Or like the sister said, if you are afraid this water is going to harm you, then you can make tayammum. Many scholars say that. Tayyib, the word that ends in dhamma. What's it called? I'm tricking you all, yeah, ikhwan. It's easy to trick you out today. Tayyib. The word that ends in fatha is called, we didn't get this last week. Write this down, ya ikhwan. Mansoob. You're going to take nasb and add a meme and a waw. You're going to have mansoob. Mansoob. Add a meme and rewrite the word. And add a waw. Mansoob. So 2 terms to memorize tonight. I want you to write these words 10 times. Marfu', انتهينا بهذا. تعلمنا هذه الكلمة قبله. We learned this word last time. مرفوع. Today's new word, mansoob. If you understand rafa' marfu', you understand mansoob. It is going to change one word in the definition. That's it. Who knows the ta'rif of marfu'? Who memorized in Arabic? That was our homework. Al-as, last week's. Finish it. Al-aslu. No problem. Recite as 8. What's the principle? Huh? Good. Good. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. The origin regarding nouns. Al-aslu fil asma'i ar-rafi'. That's a principle, ya ikhwan. If you don't get it now, no problem. If you get it now, imamun satakun. Then you're going to be an imam, inshallah. The origin in nouns is that they end in dhamma, or what takes the place of dhamma. طيب. Mansoob. What is mansoob? The word that ends in fatha, or what takes the place of fatha. That's it. If you got marfu', you got mansoob. Just change one word. So now, I don't got no space here, ikhwan. So I want you to go to another piece of paper or skip a line. We're going to learn the meaning of mansoob. Now, the terms are not that important, ya ikhwan. This is just a benefit. Fine. If you memorize it, that's better. If you can't get it now, la yadurruna, doesn't harm us. But if you can, it's going to benefit you tremendously. Right? So I don't have no space. So I'm taking away this part. Fadl ya Samad. Fadl. All right. We had that. Our sheikh asked that also. It's going to take the class. Next year's class. We tried our best not to mention this, ikhwan. Samad and our sheikh, blame them. They're going to be back behind the sisters. Let's write this, ikhwan. Al-Baytu. 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 Al-Asl fil asma' rafi'. The origin regarding nouns is that they end in dhamma. طيب. أحيانا قد ينوب على هذه الضمة شيء. Sometimes something can take the place of a dhamma. We didn't want to mention this, ya ikhwan. We'll try our best to make it as easy as we can. Sometimes what can take the place of a dhamma? La ilaha illallah and alif. And alif can take the place of a dhamma. When is that? We didn't learn this word yet, but it's a new word to memorize. Al-muthanna. We didn't get there yet. Al-muthanna. 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 In the dual. The dual. Muthanna. That's right, ikhwan? Dual. When it's two things. This one of our, we didn't get to this chapter yet, it's going to come. Al-muthanna. When the word is talking about two things. Al-muthanna. يقول تعالى في سورة البقرة في سورة طه اذهب, talking to Musa, اذهبا إلى فرعون فلا تخافا فإني معكما. Allah Ta'ala says, both of you go. اذهبا, alif. اذهبا. Who was Allah talking to? Two people. Musa and Harun. Both of you go. You're talking to two women. You say, Salaam alaykuma, alif. May the peace of Allah be upon both of you, sisters. Two men. Salaam alaykuma, alif. May the peace of Allah be upon both of you, brothers. Alif. So in the muthanna, al-bayt, how do you say two houses? Accent. We're going to add two letters, if you will. Alif and the noon. So this dhamma disappears, and alif takes the place of a dhamma. So two houses, you would say al-baytani. Al-baytani. So this alif is a letter that can be in place of a dhamma. Alif. So now it's two houses. Don't worry, if you don't get it, you don't get it. It's not important right now. So I didn't want to mention it. Blame Samad and Abdul Sheikh. طيب. What else can take a place of an dhamma, ya ikhwan? A wow. A wow can also take the place of a dhamma. First one, alif. Second one, wow. طيب. How do you say three houses? Not in this example. This one is a broken plural. Give me a sound plural that doesn't break. طيب. Let's look at the word Muslim. Mudarrisun is a good one too. Muslimun. Who can translate? Muslim is Arabic or English? A believer, not a believer. That's a mu'min. Hey, a submitter, someone who submits, is a Muslim. Not a believer. Believer is a mu'min. Mu'min. Muslim. How many Muslims? 1, 2, or 3? How many Muslims in this word? 1, 2, or 3? 1. Abdulaziz said 1, yeah. Y'all don't see that? 1, yeah, ikhwan. طيب. What case is it in? Nasbun or rafi'? Rafi'. How do you know? Allahu Akbar. What's the name of the word that's in that case? Allahu Akbar. طيب. Two Muslims, we're going to add alif and noon. Becomes Musli, just add alif and noon. Muslimani. You want to say two Muslims? Just add alif and noon. That's it. Muslimani. Alif. Two Muslims. Three or more Muslims, the dhamma becomes a waw. So we're going to say now, Muslimuna. Muslimuna. Wow. So the wow is a letter that can take the place of a dhamma. So this word is marfu'. This is going to throw everyone off, ikhwan. This word is marfu'. Al-bayt is marfu'. Muslim is marfu'. Muslimani is marfu'. That's why you say dhamma, or what can take the place of dhamma. Wow, alif. So when we get here, we would say this word is marfu'. How do you know? Wow. This word is marfu'. How do you know? Alif. So that's what it means, the word or the dhamma, or what takes the place of dhamma. Wallahu alam. Man la yafham, who doesn't understand? Wow and alif. If you get that now, Allahu Akbar. Some letters can take the place of dhamma. Alif and wow. That's it. You with me, Abdul Malik? Allahu Akbar. طيب. Now let's start, ya ikhwan. So now we did the al-marfu' an-nas. Last word, the jar. If you understand the rafi' and you understand the nasb, you got the jar. If you understand the rafi', if you really got it, and I can't trick you, I tricked some of you earlier. If I can't trick you, if you got it, I have a lot of trick questions here. Come on. Oh yeah, I'll give you a few. Let's see what your. This is an Aqidah question, so don't rush. It's an Aqidah question. Don't rush. Now everyone's scared. طيب. هل القرآن كله كلام الله? Don't rush. Is the Quran? هل القرآن? Oh, we gotta post this one, يا إخوان. هل القرآن كله كلام الله? Is the Quran all of the speech of Allah? كله كلام الله. Don't rush. It's tricky. هل القرآن? Is the Quran كله كلام الله? Is the Quran all of the speech of Allah? Don't rush. هل القرآن كل كلام الله? Is the Quran all of the speech of Allah? Our Sheikh Dawood says yes. Samad, no. It's tricky. Let's go in a circle. Abdullah, هل القرآن كل كلام الله? Is the Quran all of the speech of Allah? Don't rush. So get you thinking. And everybody wakes it up. Yusuf woke now. He was asleep 5 minutes ago. Tired. Who wants to try? Samad said no. Sheikh Dawood said yes. Who else? Abdul Malik, yes. Yes. Abdullah brother in the back. Is the Quran, all of it, the speech of Allah? Whose turn? Abdul Aziz, our sister. No. طيب. Whoever said yes, هل القرآن كل كلام الله? Is the Quran all of the speech of Allah? If you said yes, you are wrong. Trick question. Your mind thinks I'm saying what? Hey, is all of the Quran Allah's speech? We phrase it differently. We tricked you. Right? We play with what you think I'm saying. طيب. هل القرآن كل كلام الله? Is the Quran all of the speech of Allah? If you say yes, then you're denying the Torah. If you say yes, you're denying the Zabur. If you say yes, you're denying the Torah, the Injil, the Zabur, the Suhuf Ibrahim wa Musa. The Quran is from the speech of Allah, but Allah had more speech. You guys with me? So I'll give you another one. I got a lot of them. These are my days in Africa. هل القرآن, this one is easier, inshallah. So I'm not going to get this one. هل القرآن كله كلام الله? كله كلام, طيب. كله كلام الله. كله كلام الله. طيب. Still a trick question, يا اخوان. Don't rush. كلام. طيب. هل القرآن كله كلام الله? It looks like I'm saying the same thing. I changed it. Is the Quran all of it Allah's speech? Oh, don't rush. هل القرآن كله كلام الله? Is the Quran all of it Allah's speech? Yes, 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 yes. هل القرآن, what are we talking about? كله, all of what? What's the it going back to? The Quran, the kalam of Allah, speech of Allah. Oh, everybody says yes, yes, yes. If you said yes, you're right. طيب. هل القرآن كلام الله? Now I'm going to say the same thing again, but harder. It's going to be more difficult. Last one, we get back to that lesson, inshallah. طيب. Let's change it up in a more difficult way. Let's see who's the Bukhari from you brothers, and the Sulaim from the sisters, and Khadija. هل, طيب, what's my third one, يا إخوان? طيب. هل كل القرآن كلام الله? Don't rush. This one is the most difficult one. هل كل القرآن كلام الله? Don't rush. هل كل القرآن مضاف مضاف إليه كلام الله? Is all of the Quran the speech of Allah? This one is harder grammatically. هل كل قرآني كلام الله? Samad says yes. Abdullah, yes. Abdul Malik, no. هل كل القرآن, is the all of the Quran Allah's speech? Yes. Our sisters? Yes, yes, yes. If you say no, you're wrong. This one was the same as the last. We just changed the order. All right? So let's get back to some Arabic. How much time we got? Our hour's up already? Just about? So let's try to finish the jar, and then we'll stop, inshallah. So we can come back next class and start something new. Who doesn't understand the marfu'? What's marfu'?
The word that ends in doma or the word that takes the place of the doma.
Allahu Akbar. The word. Marfu', the word. Rafi', the case. Marfu', the word. Rafi', the case. Marfu', the word that ends in fatha. Dhamma. طيب. If you understand marfu', you got mansub. Mansub, what's mansub? The word that ends in fatha or what takes the place of fatha. If you understand nasb and you understand rafi', it's the same for jawr. Our next word, last word of tonight. Jawr. Write this word down, ikhwan. Jawr. We're on page 33. Jawr. Jawr is the case. The case. The case of the word ending in kasra. The word ending in kasra. Not the word, the case of the word ending in kasra. Kasra. Jawr, the case. We have rafi', the case of the word ending in dhamma. Nasbun, the case of the word ending in fatha. Jarrun, the case of the word ending in kasra, or what takes the place of kasra. They each have two parts. Rafi', what takes the place of dhamma, the case of the word ending in dhamma, or what takes the place of a dhamma. Nasb, the case of the word ending in fatha, or what takes the place of fatha. Jar, the case of the word ending in kasra, or what takes the place of kasra. That's it. Easy, ikhwan. If Allah makes it easy. Allah Ta'ala yaj'alahu sahrun alayna. We ask Allah Ta'ala makes it easy. Ahlan alayna. Easy upon all of us. طيب. Last part. We have the case. الكلمة التي تنتهي بالكسرة يسمى مجرور. Now the word, let's make a word that ends in kasra. Write this last sentence down, ya ikhwan. Al-Muslimu, al-Muslimu, huwa fil masjidi. Al-Muslimu, huwa fi al-masjidi. Man yutarjim, who can translate? The Muslim is in the masjid. Skip one word. The Muslim, he. We gave emphasis to it. The Muslim, huwa. The Muslim, he. You're emphasizing him. Al-Muslimu huwa. The Muslim, he, is in the masjid. طيب. The origin of nouns is rafi', nasb, aw jar. Rafi'. طيب. So the origin of masjid is a noun, should be what? Should be dhamma. That's the origin. If you see a noun and you don't see a dhamma, you see a fatha or you see a kasra. Something happened to that noun and changed it from its origin. It should be masjid. That's the origin. But now it's masjidi, or it should be masjidu. Now it's masjidi. Something happened to this masjidu to make it masjidi. So this word fi affects the nouns that come after them. Fi is a strong word. طيب. It's a harf jar. We'll learn that in the next class. It's a preposition. So the fi أكثر حال المسجد ويجعل الضمة كسرة. So fi affects the condition, the case of masjid. It should be al-masjidu. But because fi changes the dhamma to a kasra. So the case that this word is in is called jawr. The case, the name of the case is jawr. Genitive case. Jawr. jar, genitive. The word that is in this case, add a meme and a waw. You're going to say majroor, majroor. So the word masjidi, it ends in a kasra. It's affected by the fi. Her name is majroor. Maj should be a jim. Majroor. Majroor. So the word that's in the jar case is called majroor. If you understand marfu' and you understand mansub, you have majroor. You just don't know you got it. If you really understand marfu' and you understand mansub, you're going to understand majroor. Marfu', the word that ends in dhamma or what takes the place of dhamma. Mansub, the word that ends in fatha or what takes the place of fatha. Majroor, the word that ends in kasra or what takes the place of kasra. That's it. So who doesn't understand? If you got majroor, you got it. Dhamma, fatha, kasra. You're going to add at the end of each or what takes the place of dhamma, fatha, or what takes the place of fatha, kasra, or what takes the place of kasra. That's it. So for homework, I want you to reread page 33. You can stop at 34. We're going to talk about that next. Inshallah. All right, we'll stop there, Ikhwan. If anyone has any questions or for the Sheikh.
I don't know if you kafti.
No. طيب. There's some terms. طيب. العلماء في اللغة يختلفون كما يختلفون العلماء في الفقه. Sometimes you find some Muslim scholars from time to time, you can write these times down, in fiqh, they differ. From the beginning of the salah to the ending of the salah, the rulings, not did the Prophet do it or not, the rulings of it, scholars differ. The opening, raising your hands, some scholars say is a pillar, some say is a wajib, some say is a sunnah. طيب. What's after you raise your hands? The opening supplication, dua al-istiftah, some scholars say is a sunnah, some scholars say is wajib. طيب. What's after that? A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Some scholars say is obligatory, some say is a sunnah. What's after that? The basmala, the bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Some scholars say is obligatory, some say is sunnah, some say it's not obligatory. طيب. Where we at, ya ikhwan? Placing it right on your left. Some scholars say it's a pillar, some scholars say it's obligatory, some scholars say it's a sunnah. طيب. What's next? Reciting al-Fatiha. Some scholars say it's on all of the Muslims. Some say no, it's only on the Imam. Some say it's obligatory on the Imam and the other people. Some scholars say no, it's a sunnah. Some say it's not anything. Abu Hanifa says that. Whatever is easy to recite from the Quran is obligatory. That's not a strong statement, but that's his position. And he has proof to support. We'll learn that later. Further. Good point, ya ikhwan. In the salah, you have many things. The pillars and the wajibat, or the arkan and the wajibat, and the sunan. And then you have things that are allowed. The main three things is the rukn, the pillar, the wajib, obligatory, and the sunnah. The pillar and the wajib are both from commands. Yes. But one is stronger than the other. A pillar, for example, the brother's making the salah. He says, Allahu Akbar, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, to the end. He recites the second surah, and then he says, Allahu Akbar, and he prostrates. And he does not do what? He didn't make the ruku'. So he skipped the rukn. The ruku' is a rukn. Rukns come from commands. Obligations come from commands. But the pillars are stronger. The pillar is a command that without it, it's like you didn't do it. So if you leave off a pillar, there's only one way to make it up. What do? You have to make that raka'ah up. and then you're almost done. Since you forgot it, you prostrate 2 times for forgetfulness. If you only prostrate 2 times for forgetfulness, then that salah is not correct because you left off a pillar. The wajib also comes from a command. They both come from commands, but one is stronger. The wajib is the dua in the ruku'. Right? You can make ruku', Allahu Akbar. You can make ruku' and don't say nothing. I made ruku', but I didn't do the obligation in the ruku'. So I made my ruku', my raka'ah is complete, but it's still not as complete because I missed off another commandment. So how do I make up a wajib? 2 prostrations of forgetfulness. A pillar, you have to make it up. For those that say Al-Fatiha as a pillar, the brother comes in the salah, Allahu Akbar, the imam bows. He didn't make the Al-Fatiha. The strongest opinion of the scholars is that he has to do what? Stand up and pray again. Because Al-Fatiha, the strongest opinion is that it's a pillar. For those that say it's obligatory, he doesn't have to make it up. He has to make 2 prostrations of forgetfulness. A pillar, you have to make it up. A wajib, you don't have to make it up. At the end, prostrate 2 times of forgetfulness, it wipes it away. The pillar, if you leave it off, you have to make that raka'ah up. So it's something that the pillar of this sabora are the legs. The pillar are the legs. If I take away the legs, I bang the legs away, the board is going to fall. If I take a screw out, I take this one screw out, the screw is obligatory. It helps it, but the board won't fall. As long as the pillars are there, the board is still there. So they both are commands. The rukn is a command, the wajib is a command, but the rukn is a stronger command. You guys with me? Fadal. Like some scholars, they are more detailed. Some scholars say if you add something to the prayer, you give the salams first, and then you give the 2 prostrations after. If you take something away from the prayer, you give the 2 taslim, you give the 2 prostrations first, and the salams after. That's one opinion. Other scholars say no; they both are allowed in both situations. It is over. The prayer is over. The meaning that different ways you can make salams, ikhwan. You can say salam alaikum to the right and the left. I probably used to do that sometimes. Also, you can just do the right. Hadith Aisha, that the Prophet just said salam alaikum. So this shows that the one on the left is not obligatory. Right? So if you say salam alaikum, the prayer is technically over. And then you say salam alaikum, you did what's recommended. Like that. You see a Muslim, you say salam alaikum ya akhi. You see another brother, salam alaikum, how's everything? And shake his hand. It's not obligatory to shake a Muslim's hand. The 2 sisters see each other, they say, hey, salam alaikum, kayfa anti? And she shakes her hand. It's not obligatory to do that. But it's highly, highly, highly recommended. Right? So some scholars say it's detailed. If you add to the prayer, you give the salams first and the 2 prostrations after. If you take away from the prayer, you give the 2 prostrations first and then the salams. Other scholars say no, you need proof for that. That detail you need proof for, which is strong. Whatever you say in Islam has to have proof. So both of them are allowed in both situations. Allah Alam. Our sister. Good. Now, the only difference, that sentence is specific for nouns. Al-aslu fil asma, you're not going to say the aslu fil asma and then put nasb. They don't go with that. You won't say that. That principle is only for rougher. That's it. Right? So now, going back to the point of the sheikh. So the scholars, all of that was to say what? Who's paying attention? Accent sheikh. That the scholars sometimes differ in Islam. The same way they differ in fiqh, sometimes they differ in tafsir, sometimes they differ in Arabic. So, for example, we learned the term, the noun that's being described is called what? Oh, the noun that's being described is called Mawsuf. Some scholars, they're saying the exact same thing. They say, no, we call it something different. We call it the man'ud. Same meaning. Some of the scholars in Kufa, they had different terms. Some of the scholars in the Hijaz, in the kingdom, in the Khalij, they had different terms. Some of the scholars in other places, they had different terms. So the Sheikh is asking about the word khafba. If you learn Arabic, for example, in Africa, depending on Western Africa, this word is not going to be there. They're going to use another word, and it's going to be called khafba. It's going to be called khafba. Same thing, just a different word. Khafbun. They wouldn't say jawr, they would say khafb. When we learn rafr, they say rafr, nas, they say nas. They differ on jar and khaf. So the harf of jar, they will call it harf of khafd. It's just a different term. You ever hear when some scholars say the word sunnah? What's another meaning of the word sunnah? Huh? A way, as far as a ruling. The brother comes in, he says, am I allowed to do that? I say, yes, that's a sunnah. What did I say? Voluntary, or what else could I be saying? No, not that it's enough, Hey, voluntary. What else could I be saying? It's recommended. What else? Ahsant. The word sunnah has many meanings. Some scholars from different lands had different meanings. When Imam Ahmed says that's a sunnah, he's usually saying that's wajib. He's just using the word sunnah. Sunnah to some scholars mean wajib. So the brother says, hey, can I pray like this? I say, yes, that's a sunnah. I could be saying that's recommended. I could also be saying that's obligatory. It depends on how it's being used. Sometimes Bukhari, when he said that hadith was weak, he would say it's okay. La ba'sa bihi. That was his nice way to say it's weak. You at the gym, and the brother's like, you think I can get that up? And I said, maybe. What I'm saying nicely is, I don't think so. You need a spotter rock. You ain't warm up. You think I can get this? I'm good. Mashallah. I said at night, I don't want to hurt his feelings. So I say, get up, man. Go warm up first, and then come back. So like, sometimes you could do that. So back to the Sheikh's point. Khafd and jawr, same meaning. It just from origin, from some lands, they say jawr. I believe the Basriyun, and then the Khufiyun, they say khafd. Same meaning. Just the words different. They're called in English mutaradifat, synonyms. All right. So anyone else, ya ikhwan? We'll stop there. Once again, remember the terms are not as important. Don't stress over the terms. Just memorize what they mean. The terms itself is not obligatory right now. It's not going to benefit right now. If you get it, Allahu Akbar. But if you don't get it right now, Brother Zayd memorized the principle. Alhamdulillah. If all of you memorize it, Allahu Akbar. But if you don't get it, you're not on Zayd's level, but it's not going to harm you. And then next month, you're like, Zayd, I got it now too, alhamdulillah. He said, yeah, it took you 8 weeks. Let's stop there, ikhwan. وسبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Remember, ya ikhwan, everyone's pace. One brother asked a week ago or so, I can't really keep up. It's 3 days a week, and that's okay. The classes are recorded. We have a little app that we send benefit to from time to time. So you try to study at your pace. Yeah, inshallah. I sure can. If you're down, I tried to add you also. Make sure you have the Telegram, ya ikhwan.